It's your favorite cousin, your favorite nephew, your favorite uncle, your favorite father, your favorite son, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry, and welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. This is a safe space. It is a positive place in which we gather together and we encourage one another, we educate one another, we elevate one another on this journey we call life, a journey we have in common. So welcome to the channel. You are in one of the best, most powerful places out here on these internet streets. For my loyal, faithful family, welcome back. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to see all of you healed, whole, happy, living the life that you deserve, a life that we all deserve. And I wish you much more of that times a million. To those of you who are here all the time, who have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This is a positive place. It's a safe space. It's a great place and a great family to be a part of. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family and be part of this community. To those of you who've never seen me before, I am Dr. Larry Smith. I am actually a certified life and spiritual coach. I'm a historian. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a day trader. You know, I'm a polymath, or let me see if I can remember the word. Was it polyhist? I think that was the word. I have a lot of different talents and skills and things that I use, but my favorite is to help people to grow. My favorite is to help people to be more of themselves authentically and to get over trauma. So that's what my business is about. It's called Live For You Coaching. You can find out more about that at www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That is www.liveforyoucoaching.com. And if you want to email me directly, you can actually email me at drlarry@liveforyoucoaching. Out there on the website, you will see things like courses. You can schedule a coaching session with me. You can work through the materials yourself. I'm adding materials all the time. So, you know, that amongst other things, you can go out to that website and get. And if you want to follow me on social media, I am on Instagram and on Facebook, kind of on Twitter, but not really, at Dr. Larry Smith on both Instagram and Facebook. That's Dr. Larry Smith, which you should see it on the screen, at both Facebook and Instagram. So as you guys know, I read a book a month. And over the last couple of months, I've read 2 books. My January book was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And my February book was Peace from Broken Pieces by Iyanla Vanzant. And my book for March is Byron Katie's 4 Questions That Will Change Your Life. Dealing with her work, the work, and Loving What Is the name of the book. Loving What Is, 4 Questions That Will Change Your Life. Byron Katie. And it's already starting off to be an interesting book. I've read it before, but I feel like it's important to read. And some books I read multiple times, and I was, even before reading a different book a month, I was reading the same book multiple times, multiple times throughout the year. Because I think when there's sound advice, when it is coming from a place higher than our consciousness, when it comes from a place of pure, unadulterated goodness, I tend to enjoy reading it, and it always gives me something each different time that I read the book. So I repeat books sometimes, and this book, Loving What Is one of those books that I have on repeat, because the idea of doing the work, asking these 4 questions, is very important to me in my own personal life, but I also use some of it when I help my clients. And if you go look at some of my programs, like the Positive Me worksheet, or you go out and you look at the Accept program, you know, my Think program, some of them, you know, incorporate bits and pieces of things I've learned. And one of the things that I incorporate is part of this work. Of course, I don't use it 100%, but I use my own spin and twist and meaning of it behind it. And so I wanted to get on and talk about the first question, because I think that would be something good to talk about, the 4 questions. And the first of the 4 questions is it true? Now, obviously, this is in relation to a statement, a feeling, a thought, or however you're perceiving something for a given moment. Say, for example, if you're mad at your wife for not cooking every day, or you're mad at your child for not doing good in school, or you're mad at yourself because you just didn't meet your deadlines, or you haven't accomplished the things that you've set out to accomplish on your goal list, or whatever. Whatever the case may be, traffic, your television show's not on TV anymore, the food you ate at the restaurant wasn't good, the service at the restaurant wasn't good, yada, 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 yada. There's many things that we can make up stories and discuss within our brain, ourselves, and give meaning to. And so the very first question hits that right in the face. Is it true? And I know what some of you are saying, because I have very intelligent followers. You guys are super, super, super smart. So I already know that some of you are saying, but isn't truth relative? And the reality of it is no. Truth is not relative. There is only truth and not true. I don't care what people say, well, everything has a gray area. No, not when it comes to truth. You might have gray areas in gender. You might have gray areas in emotions. You might have gray areas in religion. But when it comes to truth, truth is truth. You will never hear me say like, oh, this belief as far as the Christian faith or the Islamic faith or the Buddhist faith is just a 100% truth. Why? Because in my opinion of truth, truth can be proven multiple times over. Now you have to understand where my perspective comes from. For the last 25 or so years, it's been about 25 years nearly, I have been studying history and social sciences, and whether it's history, whether it's religion, whether it's sociology, whether it's ethnic studies, political science, psychology. I've been diving in deeply through my educational pursuits within the realm of social sciences. One of the things about social sciences is they're sciences. Whether it's biology, chemistry, history, sociology, they rely on evidence to back up what's being purported as truth. So if I got on here and I talked about a historical moment or a historical figure or event, I would have, if I'm giving you accurate history, I should be able to produce the evidence of what I'm saying from many different sources coming to the same conclusions about the event, person, moment that I'm talking about. That means what I'm saying is truth, because truth can always be proven to be what it is. So when it comes to truth, there's only truth and false. So for example, if I say an apple is blue, in its natural state, apples aren't blue. I haven't seen a blue apple. Maybe there's somewhere off in the world that you can go to a tree and pick a blue apple, but I haven't seen it. I've only seen the greens, the yellows, the reds, the oranges, the colors that we normally see of apples. But if I say the apple is blue, you can say that's false. But if somebody came and said, I picked this from the tree and I can verify that tree multiple times produces blue apples, then we can say that the blue apple statement is true. But until that's proven that there's evidence, that blue apple statement is not true. Even if somebody dyes the apple blue and it's blue, the apple is blue in its current state. The apple is blue in this moment, but naturally occurring, this apple is still not blue. Because the truth is, apples are not blue. So we have to understand that when some of you guys are saying truth is relative, for my overthinking, very intelligent people, what you're actually saying is the circumstance that you're in can create something that might be your reality in the moment, but it doesn't make it true. Somebody upsets you, you're upset right now, but that person's not upsetting you tomorrow. That person, unless you're with that same person. That person didn't upset you days ago unless you were with that same person doing the same action and committing the same atrocities and activities towards you that upset you. And then that goes to a deeper meaning of why do you keep putting yourself in the same situation of a situation you don't like? So really, it's not just that person upsetting you, you're allowing yourself to be upset. Not to mention, if you really go to the crux of the situation, you're thinking about what the person is doing is what's upsetting you. And I repeat that. It's really your thinking about what the person is doing that's upsetting you. So if the person's not upsetting you, your thoughts about what the person is doing is really what's upsetting you. So ultimately, it's not truth that even in that moment that person is upsetting you. But that's a little deeper for those of us who have been doing the work and have been working on needing out the difference between our truthful thinking and our false thinking. But most of the time we live in false thinking because false thinking seems to be wrapped in ego. Wrapped in ego. When I mean ego, some people say edging God out. Some people think of it as I'm boastful and I'm prideful. When I say ego, I don't mean that. When I say ego, I mean the opposite of thinking in your correct mind. If you want to be a religious person, to me, ego will be equivalent to sinful thinking, right? Thinking out of alignment of your true self. Thinking out of alignment of the you that connects to something higher, be it God, be it all of humanity, be it love, whatever. Ego is everything that's not that. And so in an egoic state, hanging in the falsehoods is a good thing because it's easier in an ego state to make somebody else responsible for your hurt. It's easy in an ego state for you to hold a grudge against something that happened centuries ago. Some people hold grudges of things that happened centuries before they were here. Decades, years, months ago. Ego loves that because ego loves to make it all about you. I'm sad because of this person. And you got people who live in that state of accepting the falsehoods. And so Byron Katie's first question is it true? Is it true? And I venture to say about 99% of the time, the answer to that question is a simple no. But because we're so wrapped in the emotions and the feelings and the whatever pity and the ego of it, that no is never that easy. It's always, it might be no, but no, however, or it might be yes in a doubtful way, right? Or it might be yes because you haven't really dived in deep enough to even ask within yourself is what you're if what you're thinking is based on any kind of truth or not. Is it true? That is such a powerful first question. Because immediately when the thought goes into your head, and I've gotten to the point to where I'm able to do this a lot better now. Immediately when I get a thought that comes to my head, say if somebody makes me mad, I get upset. This person make me mad. Immediately when I say I'm so mad at that person because of such and such, my very first question after my statement is, but is it true what you're feeling? Did such and such really make you upset? Or are you thinking what they did make you upset? And why is that? And how did you handle it? We'll get to the other things later on. But the is it true is such a powerful first question because it requires you to critically think, as Byron Katie would call it, inquire about what you're thinking. Because your thinking, ladies and gentlemen, is what's creating your emotions. Your thinking is what's creating your emotions, and from that emotional state and from that consciousness, it's creating the experience that you're having. It's creating the experience that you're having, and seldom in life our experiences are created from outside of us. Majority of the time, your experiences are created internally. Even if what's going on is happening around you, how you react to what's happening around you has everything to do with what's going on inside of you. So a question like, is it true, forces you to come to terms with what you are thinking, what you are believing in relation to actually what is happening. It's a powerful question. Is it true? Is it true? Have you asked yourself that today about something? My homework, I guess, to you guys for this particular video is for you to go through one of your thoughts. My husband does it, my child is, I feel, blah, whatever the thought is, be raw about it, write down the thought. And then I want you to contemplate, and you can do this on paper as well, is it true? Is what I'm thinking about this situation, this person, myself. Is it true? Is it true? And like I said, some of you may believe truth is relative, but you're not believing in truth. You're believing in the probability of truth. And there's a difference in believing in the probability of truth versus believing in truth. I'll give you another example in that. Say if you have a choice between 3 cars. Clearly, if you have the ability to afford a car, you're not a person who needs any of these things. Because you can get a regular clunker get you from point A to point B. But there's so much more into making your decision than just, I would hope, when getting a car, than just share what it looks like. But you have 3 options. And so the question is, so the truth is not whether or not you have a problem with transportation by not being able to choose one of 3 cars. The choices are within your mind. The choices are within your mind. And so the truth is you have what you need. You just have to make a choice on what do you determine based on your preference. So you can't make a statement and say, I don't have an idea of what I want to choose. I don't have an idea. Or you can't say something like, I don't have transportation. You have 3 options. You just haven't chosen an option. You might not like your options, but it doesn't mean you don't have the options. So what I'm saying is there's probability, and a lot of people put faith in probability of truth existing as opposed to verifiable facts in their face. If I give you my birthday, May 26th, that is my birthday. That's the day I was born. You can't refute that. I can get the birth certificate to prove that. It is what it is. You will have somebody who will try to question the validity of that statement, but that has nothing to do with the truth of the statement. That's just in their brain, them creating scenarios that are based on probability that they're looking into. Truth is truth, truth is truth. And so when you ask yourself, is it true about what you're feeling in your work today that you're going to do? Be honest. Is what you're feeling, thinking, believing true? And if not, we'll talk about that when we go to the next question. But I wanted to get on. I'm enjoying what I'm reading, so I want to share some about it just to kind of give you guys a little bit of it. I recommend that you read Byron Katie's work along with me. Loving What Is, the 4 questions that would change your life. And we do the work together. I'm redoing the work on things that I feel I need to work on right now as I'm reading. Why? Because it's nothing like, you can hear stuff, but when you're actually working through stuff, it just makes it that much more better. If I can say that. Anyway, as I always say, I love you guys with the highest love God has given me to give. And I will see you in the next video.